Greetings, YouTubers. This is Hellshade2, and today we're going to call this video Free Will and God's Plan. Now, I was watching some earlier videos. I had some thoughts about this subject beforehand, but I was watching one of profmths videos today about Calvinism, and some of this might actually apply to the Calvinism end of this of religious views. Might actually go a little further than that, but let's let me lay it out for you here, and we'll see what people think. So I'm just looking to get opinions and thoughts on these ideas. Just I don't know, maybe see what people think and what my subscribers are thinking, and anybody else that happens to catch this. I'm gonna post a link to the profs video up in the information bar, and I'll probably actually post this as a response to this video because it may hold some value on that, but we'll see. But let me get down to the question before this video gets too long. Now, we hear a lot of talk about free will, and there are religious people, Christians, Muslims, whoever, that say that you get free will, that God grants you free will, He doesn't grant you free will. I mean, there's a lot of different trains of thought on this matter. Pardon me. But I'm going to bring up two things on the Christian side here. Now, the first issue, to me, in regards to free will, and I may have brought this one up before, because I think I made a video about with God's plan of free will a while back, but it still seems relevant to me. Now, you have free will, okay, that you supposedly can make your own decisions concerning your life and whatever else, in between believing in God, not believing in God, anything else in between. And that's fine as far as it goes. But I hear a lot of people saying, and I'm sure many of you out there have heard the same thing, that God has a plan. Okay? Everything that happens is part of God's plan. So if everything that happens is part of God's plan, then free will can be nothing more than an illusion. Okay? It's an illusion that you have free will. You're just doing what God intended you to do anyway, and you just think that you made a decision. Okay? So on that aspect, if God is real and God has a plan, then it doesn't really matter what we do, because God's not going to have you or I or anybody else mess up His plan. Okay, just because we might have free will or we think we might have free will, it's not going to happen. But that's one question. Now you have number two here. Okay. When you have your choices between God and not believing in God and not believing in God, okay, if God actually does exist, okay, and things are as the Christians say, the Christian religion shows it to be, then again it's not free will, because you're being told that if you believe in God, you're going to go to heaven, whatever it is, okay, which is nice, it's probably a good thing. But if you don't choose to believe in God, okay, or you don't do what God says, now you're going to go to hell, to fire, brimstone, torture, eternal damnation, cats, dogs living together, the whole freaking 9 yards, And again, you have to look at it objectively and say, well, how can this be free will? Okay? Because on the one hand, okay, you have a prize to attain, so to speak. Attaining heaven. That's supposed to be a good thing to do. But on the other hand, okay, if you don't choose to go this way or believe in God and do what God says, you're going to go to hell, eternal damnation, fire, brimstone, again, the whole 9 yards. Okay, so if you're going to put it that way, that is not free will. Okay, because you have a punishment involved if you don't make the right choice. Okay, that whoever wants you to make this choice, okay, whether it's your local priest, the Pope, God himself, whoever's actually saying you have to make this choice, okay? Well, unfortunately, that's not free will then, because you're being coerced into making a choice. Okay, you have the pleasant side, you have the bad side. Okay, well, which one would you really take? Of course you're going to want to take the side where you're not going to get hurt, you're not going to be tormented or anything. But then by making that decision, it's not actually free will because you're doing it because of a fear of the punishment. No, so in effect, that's not free will. That's coercion. Okay, and you know you can look at it any way you want, but it amounts to the same thing, in my opinion. But that's just the two main points I wanted to bring up on the issue. And give me your comments, opinions. Pass it around. I mean, I'd love to get some religious people out here to actually give me a couple opinions on those thoughts too, just to see what they're thinking about on this. Because to me, it's like you can't have it both ways. You can't have free will and then tell me that God has a plan. Okay, and you can't tell me that you have free will to choose between heaven, believing in God and not believing in God, because well, you have a punishment involved if you choose not to believe in God. Okay. Well, you might choose if you're going to choose not to believe in God, it's because you don't believe there's a God and you don't believe in the punishment to begin with. Okay. So let's just go there. Okay. But again, for those who might believe, it's coercion because you're not given a fair choice. Okay. You can't say. I mean, you're being penalized if you don't make this choice. So it's not free will. No, I can't call it that. So I don't know what else you might call it, but that doesn't look like free will to me. To be honest. But this video's already run longer than I really wanted it to, because I've rambled on just a little bit. So we're gonna let it go with that. Pass it around. No. Show this a bit. No, share this with people. I just want to get some ideas. So let's. What do people really think about that particular issue? Because to me, that's a big issue in believing in really any type of religion. If you're going to have some type of code that's going to tell you have to do this, then it's not really free will. And to me, that's not really no good religion in a lot of respects, if you ask me. But that's probably an issue for another video. But anyway, with that, take care. Good night, and be safe. Be well. Take care, everybody.